log on to this platform, you get your dashboard, which will give you some really nice stats and performance, stats on your campaigns and so forth. Obviously, if you've never had a campaign, yours will be black. But the first thing I would suggest we do when you're setting up a new MailChimp account is to load MailChimp calls it your audience, but it's basically your subscribers, okay? The first newsletter we're going to create today is going to be a chapter newsletter. Now, if you don't want to do this for your chapter, then that's fine. You can, practice as we go along, or you can call it something else, a customer newsletter. You can call it whatever you want. But for the sake of the exercise, we are doing a chapter newsletter. What we do in our chapter is we send this newsletter out every week. My chapter meeting is on a Tuesday. We very strategically send this out on a Thursday as a reminder to remind members, oh, yes, BNI, right? So that you're always front of mind. And it's a bit of a recap on what the meeting was about, a bit of a touch base on what to expect next week, things members need to know. And like I said, it goes out on a weekly basis. So it will be a weekly newsletter to members. So what I want to do is my audience, I want to first load as my chapter members. So you click audience over here. Okay, so click that button, audience. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click manage audience over here. Now, there's a few ways you can do this. You can import a contact list using a CSV file. Yes, that's a quick way if you have 50 or 30 contacts, but it's a bit more involved. So I want to show you the most basic and easy way to do this for you right now, which is going to be to load them one at a time. Now, it's not going to take that long, and I'll show you why. So we're loading your chapter members. So you want to find every member's email address. I'm going to show you how to do that. Go to BNI Connect. Okay, so open up another tab and go to your BNI Connect profile and just log on. Okay, and do this with me because you don't want to have homework. You want to do this while we're going so that everything's set up by the end of today. Okay, so you're logging onto your BNI Connect profiles. I'll give you a few more seconds. Okay, BNIConnect.com and then sign in. Okay, then you're going to click operations over here, and then you're probably only going to see chapter. So you click operations and chapter. Okay, I'll give it a few more seconds. And then you're going to click mass email over there. So mass email. And then there's a little button saying email my chapter. So click that button and bam, there's a list of all your chapter members' email addresses. Okay, so now what you can do is you can go one at a time. And hopefully you know your chapter members well enough to know which member belongs to which email address. Okay, so so this is the easiest way for me. So I'm going to go back to MailChimp. I'm going to go add a subscriber, which is the first tab. All you need to put in is email address, and then you probably want to put in name, first name and last name, right? And then you scroll to the bottom, and then you're going to say this person gave me permission, and you're going to say, you can tick the second box as well. Now I want to just show you this tags, a little box over here. If you were familiar with this and you want to get really a little bit more advanced, maybe you are doing customer newsletters as well. Maybe you have a whole lot of different audiences. So more on an advanced level, you want to assign tags to each contact, because if I tag a contact, then I can filter the contacts by the tag. For example, I would tag all of my BNI members BNI, or I would tag them actually BNI Gateway. So that if I meet a BNI member from another chapter, I would tag them with their chapter name. So I could actually filter if I wanted to, or send a campaign to a specific tagged contact. So I would tag my clients as clients, my vendors as vendor, so I could really specifically send different campaigns to different contacts, right? If you wanted to use this more advanced, you could put birthdays in, you could put phone numbers and addresses, and then you could set up automations that send out automated birthday messages. That you could have a lot of fun with this. But again, I'm just doing this on a basic level today. So you click subscribe and you would have added your first contact. So I want to give you a few minutes to go through your chapter list, click one at a time, copy and paste the email, and then go and create a new subscriber every time. You add a contact, add a subscriber, and then you put first name, last name, email, and just keep adding them one at a time. Hopefully you're going to get your whole chapter added now. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few minutes for that. And while you're doing that, if anybody has questions, go ahead and type it in the chat box, and then I'll answer those. And we're only going to do BNI members for now, but you might want to, if you're going to use this platform on a larger scale, for customer newsletters and so forth, it can even be employee newsletters and things like that, then this is how you would just add your audience. But I would then advise you to call your audiences different names. So you'd have a BNI audience, or it depends. It depends if you're tagging them or not, but you could really get specific with the kind of things that you do with your audience as well. Okay, looks like most of you are still busy, so I'll give it a few more minutes. Okay, so if you want to import contacts into this audience list over here, then you would actually go to add contacts and import contacts. Or if you're sitting on your dashboard, you would go to manage audience, import contacts. Now, importing is a little bit trickier because you're going to upload it from, unless you can do something else here, but you're going to upload it from a CSV file. I would encourage you to download the CSV template, which they provide over here. Somewhere there was a little template, and then just kind of paste into the template. But, you could struggle. It's never straightforward and as easy as I would like it to be usually when I use CSV files. But try it if you want to do a whole list. Okay, that was the one way. And then copy and paste. That is another way of doing it. Then you'd kind of paste email addresses and then still put first name, last name, and so forth. Okay, those are other ways to kind of bring your contacts in. Oh, Gabriella. So unfortunately, the Excel sheet won't import. You've got to convert it to a CSV. That's actually where I've had trouble before, is trying to convert the Excel sheets to CSVs. And so that's why I say download the CSV template that MailChimp provides and then try to kind of copy your Excel stuff into that CSV template and then upload. Oh, yes, Katie, I just saw your message. Yes, we're working in free MailChimp. If you don't have an account, you can sign up. If you do, just sign in, and then we've literally just started adding contacts under an audience, which is your chapter members. We're adding chapter members in. Okay, I'm going to give it about a minute or two, and then we're going to move on. So if you do need to continue doing your audience later on, then that's fine. As long as you practice, then you're getting it right, so you know how to be adding your audience. Okay, you guys okay? I'm going to move on. Okay, so now you got your audience there. Once you have an audience, you want to the next step for us to focus on is campaigns. Now you're going to click the little campaigns button on the left-hand side. If you're in a weird place, just click the monkey top left-hand corner logo over there, and it'll take you to your dashboard, and then you'll get that menu back. Okay, that's down the left. So then you want to click campaigns, and you can just click all campaigns or whatever's on the top there for you. And then you would also get a dashboard. Your dashboard is probably empty right now. Okay, so there's a number of different campaigns that a person could create. And if you click create campaign in the top right, it's going to give you some examples, or it's going to give you the kind of list of things you can do. An email campaign is what we're doing because we're sending out an email newsletter. Automations is, you might be limited with what you can automate on the free accounts. I can't remember, but automations is a pretty cool feature if you want to set up triggers for things such as birthday emails and things like that. You can really have a lot of fun. Website is, MailChimp can actually help you create a website, which is, depending on what you want to do. And then landing pages, I want to talk about a bit later because I actually set up landing pages that are linked to my newsletter. So a little bit more advanced, but if you want to go there, then I'll take you through that towards the end. Okay, so we're going to click email and then just click regular so that it takes us to the kind of wizard. Email campaign name. So I called my chapter weekly newsletter. I'm going to call it, you can call it whatever you want. Call it chapter weekly newsletter. And then click begin. Okay, I hope everybody's with me. Okay, then you should be here. And you can edit the name if you'd like to, but ultimately we're just going to continue on. Recipients. So if you're not already subscribed yet to your audience, then click add recipients or whatever that button is, and then select that audience, which is the people you just added. Okay, so let me know if you have any problems with that. It's going to kind of look something like this. You're going to go all subscribers in audience. You're going to pick your audience, and then you're going to save. Okay. from. So you want to put your email address here. Some people like to create a separate email address, such as newsletter at, your company name, or info at your company name. And the only reason for that is because if somebody marks your newsletter as spam, then the email address you're using here, if it happens enough times, this email address will be kind of tagged as spam, and then your normal emails will start going into spam folders. That's only if you're doing bulk emails to customers and vendors, I would be concerned. In this case, I use my email address because then if anybody hits reply, it comes straight to my email, which is what I wanted. Okay. And I wouldn't be concerned about your chapter members marking a newsletter as spam. So if you're only doing this right now for your chapter, then just put your email address down there. Subject line, add a subject. I normally say what's coming next week, or whatever, your chapter information, or up and coming for next week's meeting, or whatever subject you want to put in there. What's coming next week. And then you can put a little preview text, which is a tiny little text that pops up in someone's email platform underneath the subject line. Please read, or don't miss out, or exciting news here, whatever you want to do there. Okay. And there's some little tips around on the side as well, which is nice. Okay. So that's easy to set. And then content. So now when we click design email, this is when we're going to start designing the actual newsletter, because now you've set everything else up. Okay, so you guys still with me, I hope. I don't see any messages in the chat, so I'm going to continue on. Okay, this is the fun part, guys. Here we're going to start designing newsletters. Okay, and again, MailChimp I like so much because they have some really good templates that are so easy to use, and you can just go ahead and edit them, or you can create your own. There's a lot of different kind of formats here. You can pick any one, because I'm going to show you really how to edit and almost create from scratch. So just pick any one of. There we go. I've just picked the first one. You can pick any one you want. Okay, so now don't be alarmed if you see a lot of stuff on your screen like this. Okay, I'm going to walk you through everything step by step. On the left is a preview of what your newsletter is going to look like. And at the moment, there's placeholders until you put the content in. Okay. And then on the right is the placeholders. These little elements is how you edit those elements, or delete them, or add content, or whatever you'd like. I would always put your logo on the top. Let me show you what my chapter newsletter looks like so that you can see what we're going to do here. Okay. Give me a second. Let me open up that screen. No, it's not showing that screen. Hang on a sec. Newsletters. Okay. Let me just open this one like this. Okay. So here's what my weekly chapter newsletter looks like. This is the one that just went out yesterday, right? So there you can see my logo. Think of the template you just saw. There's a logo on top. I put a little heading, and then I try to put a lot of images in, low-res images, because people like seeing pictures, right? So I always start with a little picture that's relevant to my opening. I have a little opening, it changes every week, right? I talk about whatever's relevant right now in our chapter. I then highlight the education slot, little picture of what the education coordinator did and something that she told us. I talk about next week's meeting. Okay, so topics, themes, who the feature presenter is, who's doing core values, whatever's relevant to your meeting, okay? And then I highlight the feature presenter that's coming up, highlight upcoming speakers. And then these links that I have here take me to separate landing pages, which is what I'm going to talk about later. Okay, so that's our Zoom meeting link. This, if you click this, I'm going to click it and I'm going to show you in a second where that goes. I'll open it up for you in a minute. And the meeting agenda is just a little PDF file that gets downloaded, leadership team, that's just what's chapter goals. And then these are also all landing pages. Again, I'm going to cover that later. Top producers are notable networkers. Member recognition is members that did anything special. Business builder, that takes you straight to our app. Upcoming events takes you straight to regional sites, to traffic lights, and Power One report, right? And then membership related, membership dues. I mean, you guys can put anything you want in here, but this is basically what ours looks like. So back to the templates. Oh, there's a sub list, by the way. I clicked that link and then it kind of popped me onto our sub list. So let me go back to our template. So here's the template. You want to put your chapter logo first. Do you have a chapter logo that's brand compliant? Is my first question. If your answer is no, this is where I want you to go. BNI brand Share.com. Okay, so if your logo is a weird logo that doesn't look like the BNI Gateway one looked, then go to BNIBrandshare.com. This website is where you're going to find a lot of graphics related to BNI, approved BNI graphics. You can scroll down till you find BNI logos. You can click it. You can click chapter logo and then kind of pick the template that looks like it has the same amount of text as your name does. Okay, so Gateway I would pick Olympus if I was doing Gateway, or if you just pick the right template. You click on it. You can edit. Tell me if I'm going too fast, but you can edit this. I click the edit button. And then I can make it Gateway, and then you save and you download it. Okay, so that's how you're going to get your official chapter logo that's brand compliant. Okay, and if you don't want to do that and you're struggling and you don't have one, just email me. It takes me 5 seconds. I'm more than happy to do that and send it to you. Okay, so that's what you want to put in the logo spot. So what you do is you click this logo button and your little box will pop up here. And this is how you do any image. And then you go replace, because you want to replace that placeholder with the logo. It opens up your media area. You're going to click upload button on the top right. And then it's going to just literally take you to your folders where you can pick whatever you wanted to upload, which would be your BNI logo. And then it's going to pop it right in there. Let me find my BNI logo. Branding. Okay, so then there I pick my logo. And boom. Okay, now this logo is way too big. So I'm just going to drag that to make it small. Okay, see, it's actually easy when you're looking at it and you're doing it step by step. It's not too hard. Okay. Then, yeah, you want to create a title. I mean, you can put whatever you want. Oh, my goodness. So what's happening at BNI Gateway? Now, you're not going to be able to edit it on the left. You've got to edit it on the right here because this is where you're doing all your content. So here, you can change your font. You can change the size. You can do whatever you need to do on this little section on the right. And then when you're done, you save and close. Okay. And so you're going to kind of follow this format, populating your newsletter with whatever you want to populate it with. And you can get creative. If I want to replace a picture, I click on it. And then here's the kind of tool to replace, like I just showed you. And if you want to replace the text, you click on it. And then you can kind of replace the text over here. Okay. And I mean, these other little boxes, style, you can put borders, you can put, these little things are all relating to the box that you've just clicked. Okay. Now you can add a button. Actually, I want to show you, let me just get out of here. This little section shows you all the things you could add. I can add a text box. I can add a divider, images, buttons, social media links, videos. These are all the things you can add. So if you don't like the template the way it is, just delete the stuff that's on the left-hand side. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm clicking the little delete box. Okay, so I'm just deleting everything that's there. And then you click and you drag it over to add whatever elements you want to add. See, I've added a divider line. So this is how you're going to customize and make your own template. I can add a little video. I'm dropping the block over there. The video is going to ask you to pop in a kind of video URL like YouTube, and then it will automatically bring it in there, right? So literally, you can put in images, text, anything you want, drag it over, and then that's how you're going to kind of create your newsletter. And then the second last thing is updating your social media links. So here you want to put your chapter links. And then the last thing is updating the footer. Okay, in this little footer, you really want to say stuff like, well, mine says, you're receiving this email because you're a member of BNI Gateway. If you unsubscribe to this email, you will not be unsubscribed to BNI Connect. It has a little spiel. Okay, so do your own, and then that will be set for your newsletters. Okay. Okay, so you guys, are you keep on track? I'm going to have a look at the questions quick. Okay, I see that. Okay, so template, you can pick any template, but I picked that first one on the left. Okay. Thanks, Richard, for answering that question. So really, you're just going to populate the entire template the way you want it to be, and you can change it. The hardest part is setting the template up. Once it's set up, it's very easy to then just update it every single week. Okay. So let me show you my template again. I started the logo. Okay. That's my little, I had an image and then I had my writing. Then I have a divider. Can you see? And then I have writing, image. Then I have a divider. So I divide each section with a divider, and then you just put the content that you want to put in. Okay. You guys okay with this? Do you want a few minutes to play around and figure out some more, or do you want me to move on? And is anybody freaking out because it's too overwhelming and you hate it? Because then I'll try to help you some more. Okay. Okay, cool. We'll keep it going for a few more minutes. If anybody has questions, let me know. If you want to see any area on, oh, am I sharing my screen? Yes, I am. If you want to see any area on this newsletter, I can scroll there if you just want to look at anything. And then what we're going to talk about next, I'm giving you guys a few minutes, but I'm just talking, is the landing pages. So if you're clicking these links, how to get there, and then I'll answer any other questions that you have about this. And these are all little pictures. If you're wondering, it's just little pictures I imported as images, and then I put the text at the bottom. Okay. Okay, so Jackie, let me go back to my share screen. Okay, so if the initial page with all those template options, this is where we started. So I'm clicking the little monkey button to go back to the initial place. I clicked campaigns on the left-hand side, and then I clicked create campaign on the right-hand side, okay? And then I clicked email campaigns, or click email on the left and then regular. You got to name it. And then you're going to see the little templates come up. Oh, you got to set all of this first. Sorry, you got to like set everything up first, and then you go design email, and then it's going to ask you to pick the template that you want. Oh yeah. Okay. So that's where the templates are, Jackie. Jason, let me, I don't know if I can upload a file here. Let me see. I don't think I have the, oh, I have an idea. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to share a link to my newsletter template that you guys can click. I don't know if you're going to be able to upload it as your own template on the free account. Just see what you can do. Maybe it's just useful for you to then, look at it and copy it. So let me get you the link to my online one. Okay, here we go. I'm going to pop it in the chat box. And so every newsletter has an online link like that. So if you wanted to share this on your chapter Facebook page, or if you have a WhatsApp group and you want to pop it on your chapter WhatsApp group, you can as well. You get a nice little link like that, like I've just shared. Okay. You guys still busy? So for those of you that created a campaign and left it like I just did, and now I want to go back and find it, you click campaigns over there where you just were, and then you would probably find it. I got so many. Oh my gosh, I got all my newsletters. Okay, so that's where you would find it. Or the long way around would be, if you don't see it there, maybe it didn't save it. You're going to go onto your dashboard. You would probably find a little draft version over here. And if not, you click campaigns, and then it'll definitely be here. Can you see there's my social media one I created, and there's my test that I created. And you can see they're in drafts because they haven't been sent. And the nice thing with this is when it's published, it can show you how many people actually visited the page, that's a landing page, or how many people actually opened and how many people clicked on your template, which is really nice. It's nice to see those kind of stats, and if members are reading the newsletter, which is important. Okay. And now let's say I want to edit this one. I can click edit. Let's say I want to duplicate a previous one, which is what I do, by the way, every week. I've created my one weekly newsletter. So every week I go, and all I do is I click the arrow and I replicate. So I'm copying the previous week's newsletter, and I'm just changing the information every week. Okay, so it takes me maybe 10 or 15 minutes, depending on what time of the month it is. At the beginning of the month, we add our new notable networkers, and we, so it might be a bit more time, but really it's a few minutes just updating it. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to move on just to show you landing pages, which is a little bit more advanced. So if you don't want to look at this and carry on doing what you're doing, that's fine. But for those of you that want to know, you can have a lot of fun with the landing pages. Okay. So you'd get to it by clicking landing pages over here. And really what it does is it creates a standalone page with its own web address. And that you can use to then tie into your newsletter so people can click through. So for example, my newsletter has a few landing pages. These are actually just links. Some of them are landing pages, but let's look at this section. These are all landing pages. Okay. If I click top producers, this is a landing page. It's a standalone page, and it only has notable networkers on, because that's the top producers in our chapter, and that's it. And that's all. And no, there's no clickable links. It's just literally you could put clickable links, but it's just literally a page that highlights notable networkers. If I click, okay, so Business Builder, if I click that, it's a link. So it'll take me to, oh no, sorry, I lied about that. That's the leaderboard. Okay, so Business Builder is the leaderboard. And we kind of haven't pushed it too much, but we do share with members where they are on the Business Builder leaderboard. There's all-time leaders in the Hudson Valley, and there's all-time leaders in Gateway. And that, again, just the page that gets viewed. Upcoming events, this is a link. So if I click that, it takes me to Hudson Valley's calendar, right? Which is useful because that's where all the events are. Chapter traffic lights, I linked, and let me show you how to do this. I linked this as a file download. So if I click that, it should actually just automatically download, or actually show a file that I uploaded there. So look at this. That's just the file that I'd uploaded that a member can download. And then I think same with this Power of One report, a little bit of information on how you can succeed or what you need to do, and then a summary, and then they can download the Power of One report there by clicking that button. That actually was a download. That went straight to my downloads box. Okay. So I'm going to show you landing pages first. Again, not too difficult. We're going to go, I'm doing that type. Let me go create campaign. And then instead of going email, I'm going to go landing page on the left. You've got to name it something. And you're going to click begin. And then literally you pick a page template. Again, templates are so great, but you can do a blank, or you can, start from scratch, or you can find your own. And this is great if you're doing, something with your customers and you're doing a special promotion in your business. You create a landing page specifically for that, and you link it to your newsletter and you send that out. Or there's a number of things that you can do with this. So I'm just going to pick that one. Actually, let me just pick that one. And then it kind of works exactly the same as the email template. You can edit with your boxes. You can delete stuff. You can move stuff around. And then the minute you publish, it publishes that website. So I can save and close, but then I actually need to publish it. Let me just see what happened. I'm going to just, oh, here we go. So you can kind of customize your URLs. You can do a whole lot of things, and then you publish it. Okay. I'm going to show you one of these. Okay, for example. Now, landing page, I don't copy each week and redo. I edit the current one because it's just a link literally of my newsletter. It's not a newsletter going out. So this is one of the landing pages. Once you create it, you're just literally updating it every single week. There's the Business Builder. So all I do is I grab a screenshot of Business Builder every week, and I just keep replacing those images. That image, and that image. Oops. Sorry, I clicked something wrong. Okay, so why I would use a landing page is if I have, this is actually just if I want to be fancy, Jackie, that's all it is. If I want to be fancy and I want to have links like this on my newsletter that would take people to a standalone page that has information. And you can use landing pages for a lot of different things, but I use it purely as an informational page. Okay, so you can see here, all this does is give information on a separate level. Because on my newsletter, I don't want too much information on my newsletter. I don't want it to be 20 pages long. This newsletter, when it arrives in the inbox, should be quick and easy, very summarized. And if members want to know more, it's nice that they can click through and then get a whole page of information. You don't want to bombard too much content. So that's a reason why I would encourage you to use landing pages. You don't have to. You don't have to set it up straight away. You can first do a basic newsletter and then add to it. Once you get familiar, once you get used to that. See, that's another landing page of ours that has the notable networker certificates. We use it to kind of highlight, the top performers in the chapter. You can, I'm wondering, Jackie, do you mean the address, the landing page address is a MailChimp address because we're doing it through MailChimp. So it wouldn't have BNI's website on. you could put something, this is the landing page that you're seeing right now. So you could put something here that says, click our website. You could put something here, you could put whatever you want on here, and then it could point to the website. And then I see another question, adding pictures. Okay, so let me go to the campaign quick. Actually, I'm going to go to anyone. It doesn't matter. I'm going to show you. It doesn't matter where I am. So if you want to add a picture onto the template, the minute it loads, I'll show you. You probably see this box on the right, and you see your little preview on the left. And if you don't see that box, just click anywhere. It's because you're clicking specifically on text like this. So if you don't see that box, just get out of where you are, and then you'll see this box. And so if you want to add an image, you go to image over here and you drag it over like that. You drop the block, and then you've got to put the image in there. So then you click upload an image, and then you click, because this is all your stored images you've already uploaded. So then you click on the right-hand corner, top right, upload, and you pick the image you want to upload off your computer. So this is my branding folder. I'm just going to choose whatever I want to upload. And the minute I click it, it's going to upload it into the MailChimp media section, and then it's going to put it onto your newsletter. Did that help? Okay. Yep, Jackie, that's perfect. You got it. Okay. Now, once you're done, you save and publish. That publishes your landing page. Or if you're busy on the newsletter store, once you're done, it's pretty much a very similar button to on the bottom right. Save and send, it might say. I can get there. Publishing. And then it literally says, are you sure you want to send? And you say yes. And then it says success. You've sent your newsletter. And then everybody gets it. And you can also do a test. I'm going to show you how to. You can send a test newsletter to yourself before you send it to everybody, so that you're happy with what you've sent, what you prepared. I mean, show you. Okay, so now you guys are still probably in your newsletter, right? So I'm gonna go there. Okay, so let's say this is where you are. Let's say you're done. You've done everything you want to do. On the top right, there's a continue button over here. So you click continue. Okay, so now it brings you back to the summary. So you just check that everything's right. You're sending it to the right audience. You're happy with that. Oh, it's probably not going to let me click send because I haven't finished. So can you see on the top right over here, there's a send button. Mine's grayed out. But when you click that, then it's going to send the newsletter. And if you don't want to send it yet, you can click finish later, and then you can edit it later. And schedule, I don't think is available on the free accounts. I think if you had a paid account, it would let you schedule a day or time that you want to send the newsletter. Yeah, so that's up to you. But finish later is what I'm going to click if I'm not done yet. Okay, so that's like a very brief summary. Like I said, I would encourage you to set up the template or set up a newsletter for your chapter. Then if you want to play around some more, you could set up a template that perhaps you send out to visitors. Now, you know that you can pull a visitors list on BNI Connect of visitors that have visited your chapter from the beginning of time. And you could literally retrieve that visitor list, import it as an audience, create a template that you maybe send out once a quarter to a visitor list. And it can be it can be a visitor newsletter inviting them back to your chapter. Maybe it's a visitor day that you're hosting and you want to invite them to that. Maybe maybe you want to do it on a regular basis to specific power team, groups or context sphere groups. You can get creative, but I would encourage you to think about doing a visitor one. And then if you want to do something for your business, great platform. Once you play around, you can start sending newsletters very similar to this to your customers, highlighting your sales or your products or your services. And don't forget, if you're doing a newsletter to your customers, put a little blurb, put a little box at the bottom saying, hey, I belong to this networking group. Would you like an invite to the next meeting? And put a little picture of your members or of BNI or something like that, because marketing is marketing and you should use every opportunity that you get. You might get a ton of visitors just from that. So yeah, let me check questions again. Oh, okay. So the only way MailChimp will let you pop that picture into the template is by uploading it onto the MailChimp server. Okay. And then they're stored there as well. So if you want to ever reuse them or do whatever you need to do. So yeah, I don't think there is actually a way to kind of put it directly onto the template. It's going to put it into that media server of MailChimp. And then also, just so you know, you can edit the pictures once they're on that little media section in MailChimp if you wanted to. Even if you were in your newsletter already, I just want to go there so I can show you. Where's my social media one? Oh, no, that's it. Sorry, hang on. There we go. So, Jackie, I'm going to pop that link in the. Here's the link, Jackie, for the newsletter I've already made, and I'll show you the screen again in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to edit a picture just in case you need to, because it's irritating to have to keep, uploading it if you're editing it off MailChimp. And then Gabriella, I'll get to you as well. Okay, so let's say I have this picture and I don't like it. I want to do something with it. I can replace it, put a different picture there, or I can edit it. And I'll show you now what happens when I edit it. Or you can link it. And link means if they click that picture, where do they go? So actually, here's the perfect place for me to put my chapter website address in so that anybody that clicks the logo then goes to the BNI Gateway chapter address, right? So you can link things and you can put ulterior text, which is great for search engines. Okay, so then if I put BNI Gateway, it's just a tool that's good for search engines. So if I click edit, how do I have to get out of that? So here's the little editing tool that MailChimp gives, and you can kind of crop it and you can put little filters on it and you can put text on it. Can you see all those little things? It's a basic editing tool, but you can, just so you know, you can edit pictures through MailChimp instead of downloading, changing, and then uploading again, because that's irritating. Okay, Gabriella, I see you got your hand up.
So real quick, I love your idea about creating a Visitor's Day newsletter. Can the newsletter, like if I was to create a Visitor's Day invitation and send it to each of the members in my chapter, and then would they be able to forward that newsletter to their contacts?
Absolutely. They forward it. They just take away whatever, when you forward an email, the stuff comes on the top, just delete that and then forward it. And the links will be clickable. Everything will be workable. It'll be fine. And that's a great idea if you're making, and just pop a picture in there, visit today, invite, or whatever you want. And for the weekly newsletters, you might have seen it on mine. I have an automated little thing I'm going to show you now that says, dear person's name. So whoever the contact that you loaded in your audience, whatever first name they have there, will pull through onto my template. So obviously for a visit today template, you wouldn't use that because then it shows the chapter member's name and they're forwarding it, right? So you would leave that blank. But for your members, if you want to do that, you can just go into your editing text. I want to show you just in case you're interested. And then you go, oops, I got the wrong thing. Sorry. You go, I don't know what's happening. Merge tags. Can you see this little button over here? I hope it says merge tags. You can put any kind of merge tag into your template, and then it will pull that information from the audience. So I go first name, and I just say, hi, F name, comma. So every member that gets this newsletter will have their name in there. It'll say, hi, Jason, hi, Katie. Hi, so that's a nice feature if you want to personalize it. That also social media stats and Google stats say that emails are opened. There's a higher opening ratio if you've got the person's first name in the subject line, things like that. So if you're sending it to your customers, you definitely want to put that tag in the subject line. And that was just one extra thing I wanted to show you. Okay, let's see more questions. Oh, yeah, Jackie, I don't think that I can share the templates for you to kind of upload as a template. I think I tried it before and I struggled, but let me have a look at that. Otherwise, you're just going to kind of have to hold the two together and just copy it. You know what I mean? Just copy the blocks, I suppose. I know it's a bit more manual, but yeah. Thanks. Glenn says, if anyone needs to edit a picture, thanks. That is awesome. I'll make a note of that. I didn't know about that software, so thank you. Okay. So I'm actually, the easiest way that I know of for putting pictures, a whole ton of pictures into that little media section, and really maybe there's a better way, but this is what I do. This is just the easy way for me. So when you're on any newsletter or landing page and you're clicking and dragging an image, or maybe your image is there already, and you go upload, you can pick, okay, so you click upload again. You can pick a whole lot of stuff. Okay, obviously not folders. Yeah, you probably could do folders, but you can pick a whole range and upload all of them. I'm going to go open. So then it's put all of those in there, so you don't have to keep uploading. You can then just pick from what's in your media section, So that's what I generally do. If there's a ton of pictures I want to upload, I kind of put it all in one go. And then as I'm doing my newsletter, I can just pick the picture that I want to use as I go. Does it make sense? I hope I answered the question. Okay, what else do you guys need to know? What are you struggling with? Or what did I miss? Let's see if there's anything on my notes. How do you get those pictures in there initially? You got to, exactly the way I showed you, I suppose. I've got a whole lot there because I've been doing newsletters for many, many months, so they're all stored, but I had to do it this way initially. That's how I got all there. If I'm not answering you properly, maybe unmute and tell me what you mean, because I might not be answering your question properly.
Hey, Claudia, sorry. I don't know. When I try to pull a picture off of my computer, I can't find where to do that. I don't know how to get it into MailChimp at all. It looks like those pictures are already in there.
Okay, so we can either share your screen or tell me where you are. Are you in a newsletter like this right now, busy editing the content in a template?
I can go back in there.
Yeah, go back in. I think that's going to be the easiest way for me to show you.
Claudia, you have to just go to your photos in wherever you stored them in your computer and click on whatever you stored, or you have to go, what's the website for BNI stock photos? What was that, where you got the logo and all that?
Oh, BNI brand share?
Yeah, BNI brand share. And then I think you have to save it to your computer and then upload it into MailChimp.
So Claudia, if you're on this section and there's that image right there,
yep.
You pick browse right there.
Oh, okay. So
is that what you do?
If you click the image on the left, this should pop up on the right. You see on the right, it's kind of brought this little box up, and then I go upload an image. And then it takes me to this little section. Now, these are all things I've already uploaded, so yours will be blank over here. So tell me when you get here, okay? Then on the top right, can you see the little upload button?
Yes.
Now click that, and then it's going to take you to your computer. Now you've got to pick the images on your computer that you want to kind of upload. You can pick a whole bunch of them if you want.
So that button should be bringing me to my computer. That's what I think it's not. Maybe there's a block. I think it's not doing that. Okay.
Oh, maybe your pop-ups are blocked. Maybe you have a pop-up blocker, so it's not actually popping up that,
gotcha.
That box. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Sorry. I hope that helps. Okay. Let's see. Visitor template. I think it might be on a different MailChimp account. Let me look it up and then I can share that. I don't have it on hand initially. I don't think it's on this account actually. Let me just look. Because I remember before I created this one, I started with the visitor stuff. What I can do is, if it makes it easier, pop me an email and I can either send you the newsletter that the template on email, or the visitor one. If you're interested in that as well, I'll definitely get it to you. I'm going to pop my email address in the chat bar. Or if you need your chapter logo or anything like that, just let me know. I'm going to look quick and see if I've got that visitor template. Yeah. Okay. So can you see every week? It's just a copy of a copy of a copy. And then remember, guys, use images. Oh, let me tell you about images quick. I've got a few minutes. Free images that you can use without, purchasing them or without a license. You can go to unsplash.com. Okay, unsplash.com. And I hope I'm still sharing the right screen. Yes, I am. Okay, so this is a website where you can literally type in any keyword, and you can see what I've already searched, and it's going to give you images. The top lot is iStock, so that's paid. But if you keep going, all of these from Unsplash are free images, and you literally click the download button and it downloads that image. And that's what you can use on your newsletters. You can type in anything. I mean, referrals. Okay, ignore the iStock. There's not. Oh my gosh. Okay, referrals. Not anything. You can type in anything except referrals. Visitors. You know, there's a ton of images, and it's a really great website. So unsplash.com is where I get most of my pictures. You need that. And then remember BNI brandshare.com. That gives you a lot of BNI branded images. And then content. I get content off the newsletters BNI sends out. You can subscribe to BNI SuccessNet. There's blogs on there. There's just so much content. You can't go wrong. Crystal sends out event emails. I grab things from there. I get inspired by the things I read on BNI, and that's what gives me the kind of opening that I put every week. There's a different opening, or things that are happening in my chapter, things members are asking about, programs we're running. You can really do a short little opening on anything that's relevant. Keep it interesting and exciting, you know. You could probably, if you wanted, you could feature, you know, your vice president could write up, you know, it can be a message from the VP and they could do one week, and then a message from the secretary and they could do one week, you know, or maybe you want to make that a spot for if you have a Oscar or a best weekly presentation, maybe you want to give that spot to them, you know, and really give them extra exposure for winning the best weekly presentation. You can really have a lot of fun with this. Content shouldn't be your concern, but if it is, again, talk to other people. You can reach out to me, go to BNI official page on Facebook or BNI Hudson Valley on Facebook. There's just tons and tons of information that you can use. Okay, we got a few minutes left. So any more questions? I'm here to help. Anything you're struggling with? And while you're thinking, I really, really, really want to encourage you guys to promote it in your chapter and to, you know, get your members attending the next social media workshop. It's about how to find and invite visitors using social media. So we look at Facebook and LinkedIn and Alignable and Nextdoor and a whole lot of social media sites. And it's going to boost the number of visitors that come to your chapter. Guaranteed. We've had such good success with this workshop. We're squeezing it into an hour, so it's a summarized version, but again, it's practical. We're logging on, we're doing things, we're sharing scripts. That's a really, really, really great workshop. So please do promote it. And Jackie, you got a question.
You said things that you would put into your newsletter, like message from the VP. What are like? I saw you had the power of one. What other things, like member events or things like that?
Oh yeah. So this little spot on the top. This is where I thought if you run out of things to say, this is normally a little note from me, you know. But if you run out of things to say, make that slot something that you use for other people. But yes, I put the education slot on there. I think that it's a nice recap, especially if there's a challenge or task. Melinda is always keeping it interactive and getting us to do things and give feedback. So, and I would definitely also highlight what's coming up next week, you know, so you can see there, open networking topic if you have one, if you're doing a meeting stimulant, you want to kind of, if people do core value, it's nice not to surprise a person and they can be prepared, you know, and then it also makes them read the newsletter so they know who's doing the core value next week. And yeah, you can see the things that I highlight here, feature presenter. And another thing that I think is really important that you do include and you don't leave off is this membership related. You want to announce upcoming renewals and especially new applications being processed over a year in case there was an announcement and a member wasn't at the chapter meeting. Maybe they had a sub or so they missed that announcement. And you know that it's really important to make those announcements. So if a member feels that, you know, there's a conflict, let's say there's a new application in and there's a conflict and that member wasn't at the meeting where the announcement took place and membership committee is processing that application and they missed it, you know, so this is just another place where information can get out. And it's inspired by challenges that I feel I've had in my history in BNI. Most of my life in BNI, the biggest challenge members would tell me they had, or the biggest concern or complaint they had in their BNI chapters, was that the communication wasn't strong. They felt like the ELT wasn't communicating or information wasn't filtering down or they missed something or people, just communication, and that makes people unhappy. So if you find tools to communicate and keep the communication lines open, the more you can communicate, the better, you know, and this is just another tool that you can use to really keep, so people don't miss things. And we do this. And then we also post on WhatsApp that little summary Open networking core value, check out the newsletter. We post it on our WhatsApp group as well on the Monday, so that there's actually 3 times that the member hears from us during the week: the meeting, Thursday, and the Monday. Again, communication, and yeah, highlight birthdays. You can highlight your chapter birthday. By the way, another nice idea, ask Crystal or your director consultant, if you don't know when your chapter birthday is, what date did your chapter officially launch? And why don't you do a big visitor day celebrating your chapter birthday? And then that's just another theme that you can do. And you can invite, if you want, I don't know if we're allowed to, but you can invite past members back maybe to celebrate, or you can invite visitors or guests or things like that. So get creative. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Yes, I think that Crystal does have recordings. If you need it, just pop her an email. And if you're going to hang around for 2 minutes, why don't you pop in the chat box the best thing that you learned today, or you can unmute yourself and share. And because I'd love to see, what people are taking away from these workshops. So please do share that with me. And if you feel that anything can be done better, I'm also really open to feedback. And otherwise, thank you very much for attending. I'd love to. I'm going to keep an eye out and see what you guys are doing.